Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Hood. And hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So we're going to talk about in this video what's going on with Alex Bregman and actually Pete Alonso. Had a lot of discussion here over the last few days about both players. And if you want more stuff on that, just keep subscribing. Of course, a lot of new people have been coming in, a lot of new people leaving interesting, say the least, comments in here. I hope that everybody's respectful. I'm respectful, even though I joke around a lot. A lot of it's just to get reactions. But what's going on with the Tigers? The Tigers were one of the teams rumored to wanting to sign Alex Bregman. As you know, A.J. Hinch is the former manager of the Houston Astros. He was the manager for Alex Bregman when he came up into the major leagues. And obviously Bregman's been the third baseman for Houston for many, many years. And now he's a free agent. Well, word came down a little bit today, according to rumors, according to the Detroit Tigers beat guy, Evan Petzoid. That's his name, Evan Petzoid. He has said that the Tigers, for contingency plans in case they don't get Bregman, is signing Anthony Santander and or Hai-Sung Kim. Now, I had Kim on my list of places he could go. One of the places would be the Tigers. Santander is a new place for him to go. I don't know where his market is. You're starting to hear more stuff about it, especially since Teoscar Hernandez re-signed with the Dodgers. So you're seeing, baseball is like the domino effect. One thing affects another thing, affects another thing. So you have this sort of domino effect taking place as we speak right now, with certain players having gotten signed and being traded. And there's going to be more dominoes to fall. And obviously one of the big dominoes is Santander. But he's sort of on that second tier of players, or maybe a third tier. Big power hitter, switch hitter. He's going to have if he didn't have a qualifying offer on him, he probably would have signed already. And he's 29 years old. But, the average is not a high average, but he's a big power hitter. But Detroit they're looking at him as a contingency plan. As you know, the Tigers went to postseason this past October. And they're looking to improve even better. They're going to be a really good team. They got good pitching. They have a very good team. They're going to be really, really good in the American League Central in 2025. But Bregman has popped up a lot. The Mets are very interested in him. Obviously, he's got a championship background, championship pedigree. He's not afraid of the big moment. He's not afraid to get big hits. He's a very good third baseman. He won the Gold Glove in 2024 in the American League. He is not a guy, if you bring him in here, they could bat and clean up, but he'd be more of a guy in the middle, the fifth or sixth in the Mets lineup. The Mets are trying, according to some of the things we've been reading over the last few days, is to really insulate and give more protection to the Mets. A big hitter in their lineup now, Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. But Lindor is going to lead off. But this is all about protecting Soto. And I think Bregman, again, is a player who, he is a major complementary player for what the Mets are trying to do. And that's win a World Series and bringing in players that, one, improves their base defensively and really puts more pressure on Pete Alonso, because Pete's market is shrinking under his feet. Josh Naylor got traded to the Rangers. The Nationals, yes, they signed Josh Bell, and they also made a deal for Nathaniel Lowell. Christian Walker went to Houston. Paul Goldschmidt went to the Yankees. So all these first basemen that are quality first basemen or lesser are signing, and Pete does not have a great market now. Okay? But we have the Mets, and the Mets have an offer out to him for 3 years, $90 million. I think that's more than fair. I don't know if there's opt-outs in this. We haven't heard any opt-outs. But that's a more than fair contract with someone who's 30 years old at a non-premium position at first base. Now, Milwaukee was early on. I thought that Milwaukee was going to sign him. It doesn't look like that. It's going to happen. So I'll cross them off. I'll also cross Detroit. There are two other teams that I've heard early on was the Oakland Athletics. I mean, the formerly Oakland Athletics. The Athletics, I don't think are going to make that kind of a move, that commitment. And yesterday or the other day, we heard the San Francisco Giants. According to one of my subscribers, he let me know that the lady that put out this information, Susan Slusser, who works for the San Francisco Tribune, whatever she works for, is very good friends with Scott Boras. And as you know, Boras is the agent for Pete Alonso. The market is not great, so I'm going to assume that the Giants have... I've not heard anything other than from Slusser with the thing with the Giants. There's been no second source in this. She's a good reporter, but obviously the market for Pete is not very large. Again, it's not a big market. It's not a market that is... He's not a shortstop. He's not a center fielder. He's a guy that is a home run hitter, a pure home run hitter. He's hit 80 home runs in the last 2 years. Everyone's complained about him hitting 34 home runs, but the last 2 years, he's hit 80 home runs and driven over 200 runs. That's nothing to sneeze at. His numbers have been very good, other than the batting average and the slugging percentage, and strikeouts went up a little bit this past year. So the Mets are trying to build a very strong lineup. Home runs win championships. And we know that the Mets are trying to bring in home run hitters. We know with Soto, he's going to hit home runs. Soto's going to hit 35 home runs. Because he hit that 2 years ago with the Padres, and he did that a few times with the Nationals. But Pete Alonso is very important, as you know, because he brings balance to this lineup. Because for a long time, there wasn't any balance without another left-handed hitter. Pete has to come back to create that balance in the lineup. The belief is, amongst some people, that the Mets will try to sign both players, both Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso. And this would certainly create a very strong lineup. I would assume that they will put Mark Vientos as the designated hitter for this Mets club. I assume that they're going to do that. Now, the one thing that will happen is the Mets will be, interestingly, right-handed, because they'll have Bregman, Alonso, Vientos, and Alvarez, and then they got the center fielders that are both right-handed, the two left-handed hitting corner outfielders, and Nimmo and Soto, and then, of course, you got the switch hitter at shortstop, and then a cavalcade of characters at second base. I also will mention that the Mets are very interested in bringing Jesse Winker back. I'd have no problem with that. They tried to get Jock Peterson before he signed with the Rangers, I guess. Excuse me. And, of course, Jesse did a good job here. He's very popular here with the Mets. He did a very good job. None really to complain about. And I know that he's not on the front burner. There is a lot of talk about Jose Iglesias. In my opinion, if you bring in Bregman, you don't need Iglesias, because then he would be backing up third base for Vientos. So that kind of takes away a job for him in terms of where you want him to be as a defensive replacement. Because in my view, he's not an everyday player anymore. He's a defensive replacement late in the game. He's a backup shortstop, and his ability to play shortstop has waned because he's 35 years old. He's lost range. So that is not a front burner either. And plus, we want to see players, I think you do if you're watching. You want to see Luis Angel Acuna play. You want to see Brett Beatty play. You want to see Jeff McNeil continue to play with the Mets. So you don't want to see young players, not McNeil's a young player, but you don't want to see young players being, get that playing time clogged up by a 35-year-old vet. And we can't forget about Ronnie Mauricio, who's a very talented player and a very exciting player. But this is an update for you. If you're not on X, if you're not on any kind of other social media place that talks about the Mets, this is the channel you want to subscribe to, because I'll get you as much information plus as much of my opinions as I can. Please be respectful. That's all I ask. And once we, talk, and I will goof on people. People get irritated with it, but, it's all in good fun. That's all how I take it. But people are very sensitive, I guess, these days. But, again, if you're not on X, You want to subscribe to this channel, you'll have the most fun, and you'll think. Most channels, they don't want to make you think. I'll make you think, and we'll have a good time here. So thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.